How can you continue to believe in something when everything you can see, feel, and think tells you it's not possible? This might be one of the biggest puzzles in life. Yet hidden in this mystery is the secret to truly shaping your world. Picture this, standing in front of a towering wall built from cold, hard facts. The kind of evidence that seems completely solid and beyond question. Maybe it's a health condition confirmed by tough statistics. Maybe it's a bank account showing not enough money. Or maybe it's just life situations that seem totally stacked against what you want. Your logical mind says, this just can't happen. But I'm here to say that what looks impossible is often just a hidden form of a bigger truth. Let me tell you a story that still touches my heart. A student of mine once came to me crying, holding a stack of medical reports in her shaking hands. 3 different doctors had all given her the same heartbreaking news. She'd never be able to have a child. Her mind, trained to accept facts, had already taken this as the final word, as something that couldn't be changed. But she did something most people never think to try. She chose to imagine life as if her dream had already come true. Every night, just before falling asleep, she pictured herself holding a baby. She felt the weight, heard the little baby sounds, sensed the quiet breathing, and felt the deep love that only a mother feels. Her body didn't agree, her doctors didn't agree, the world didn't agree, but she kept going. And today, she's not holding a dream, she holds her real living daughter in her arms. How did this happen? It's because she understood something many people miss. Reality is just a mirror of what you've accepted on the inside. Your thinking mind can be your best support or your biggest enemy. It tries to keep you safe. It organizes what it already knows. It depends on past experience and current facts. But here's the catch. Your thinking mind only works with what you've already accepted. It doesn't understand the deep creative force that lives in you. Think about this. Everything you see around you, from your chair to the phone or computer you're using, was once thought to be impossible. Flying in airplanes, people used to call it crazy. Talking instantly with someone halfway across the planet, a wild dream. Every new invention, every major change that shaped our world started with an idea that logic said couldn't work. The secret lies in realizing that your awareness, your sense of being, comes before anything else. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. You don't wonder if the light will turn on, you just expect it. That's belief based on past experience. Now imagine you'd never seen electricity before. Would you still expect light? That's where your dreams come in. They're just like that switch. The only difference is how much faith you give them. Now let's look at what makes it possible to believe even when things seem hopeless. First, know this. Your awareness is the root of everything. What you see out in the world is just a picture of your inner state. Every person you meet, every situation you're in, every condition you face is tied to something you've accepted as true deep inside. What's happening right now in your life is just the echo of what you believed before. Next, understand this. Creation always happens twice. First in your thoughts, then in your world. Most people want their outside world to change first before they allow themselves to believe. That's like looking into a mirror and waiting for it to smile before you smile. It's backwards, and it traps you in the same place. Instead, you must learn to feel as if your dream has already happened, even if the facts argue against it. Want financial ease? Start feeling as though money is already flowing, even if your account says the opposite. Dream of perfect health? Feel the joy of being well, even while the symptoms remain. This isn't about ignoring reality. It's about using your power to reshape it. So, how do you stay believing when everything around you screams the opposite? The answer is in getting lost in the feeling of already having what you want. Think about how you never doubt that the sun will rise tomorrow. That's trust in nature's rhythm. You need that same kind of trust in your vision. Here's a tool that can really change things. Tonight, when you're ready for sleep, don't replay the day's problems. Instead, create a simple, clear mental scene. Something that would naturally happen if your dream came true. Maybe a friend is congratulating you. Maybe you're reading a paper confirming your success. Keep it short, keep it clear, but most importantly, put yourself right into it. Don't watch it like a movie. Step inside it. Shake the hand, hear the voice, let the feelings of joy and success flood you. Your logical mind will fight it. It will remind you of everything that's wrong. But remember, your current world is just the outcome of what you used to think. It only has power if you let it have your focus and belief. I met a man during one of my talks who was going through a serious business crisis. His company was collapsing and bankruptcy seemed certain. Every expert agreed it was the end. But every night he would sit calmly and imagine himself reviewing financial records that showed growth. He imagined his accountant happily surprised. People said he was being foolish. His partners thought he was out of touch, but he stayed with his vision. 6 months later, what others called coincidence or luck had totally turned his situation around. Let's be clear, your senses don't report what's true. They show you the result of past beliefs. The real cause is your imagination. When you shift the inner cause, the outside effect has to change too. This isn't wishful thinking. This is how your creative power works. Think of your inner world like rich soil. Your assumptions are the seeds. The life you live is the plant that grows. If you're not happy with what's growing, you have to change the seed. And just like a wise farmer doesn't wait to see sprouts before believing in the harvest, you don't need to see proof before you believe in your dream. Holding belief when you doubt is possible when you understand time. Your senses only see what's now and what's past, but imagination knows no time. Inside it, you can be, do, or have anything you want. By living as if your dream is already real, you actually start to experience your future in the now. That's why I say your goals already exist in a deeper dimension of consciousness. Let's make this real. Say you're aiming for a promotion at work, but everything says it's out of reach. No job openings, other people more qualified, tough business times. Instead of giving in, you create a simple mental scene. Maybe your boss shaking your hand. Maybe the feeling of pride with your new title. You return to this scene every night. You feel the success, the joy, the pride. Your thinking brain will argue. It will list all the reasons it can't happen. That's where most people give up. they let the facts win. But remember, facts are just frozen pictures of old thoughts. They don't control what happens next unless you let them. Take a moment to look at your beliefs. Every difficulty you face, every limit in your life, started with something you accepted inside yourself. The world outside doesn't think or create. It just shows you what you believe, and it does it perfectly. Let me share one more story. A woman once came to me heartbroken after a breakup. Her partner had left, and everything he did and said made it clear he wasn't coming back. Still, she didn't give up. Each night she imagined them back together. She felt the love, heard his kind voice, felt his presence beside her. She didn't try to force it. She just calmly accepted this new inner reality. Time passed, little things began to change. A message, a chance meeting. Then, eventually, they were back together. Not because she pushed for it, but because she lived in the feeling of the outcome. You see, when you decide to live from the end, you're not pretending. You're choosing to shift the path of your life. You're aligning with the greater law, a law that says the world outside mirrors what you hold inside. The truth is powerful, but not always simple. Your belief, steady and focused, even in the middle of doubt, is the key that changes everything. Appearances will reflect outward with absolute mathematical certainty. Your task is not to resist what already is, but to stay firm in the belief of what can be, until the invisible becomes visible. Let this guide you like a steady light. She could sense his presence next to her, hear his breath, and feel the warmth of their bond. Her friends called her unrealistic. Her family told her to face the facts, but she continued to believe. Now, listen carefully. She didn't try to force it into happening. She didn't chase after him, plan, or manipulate. She simply lived as if they were already together. Within a few weeks, through a chain of events no one could have planned or even expected, they were together again. The outside world reshaped itself to reflect what she had accepted inside. This is the principle I'm sharing with you tonight. The outer world must reflect your inner, ongoing assumptions. But don't forget, these must be deep assumptions, not just casual wishes or fleeting hopes. When you assume something, you think from it, behave from it, and live naturally in it. If you desired $1 million, you wouldn't sit around imagining receiving a check every day. You'd instead start to live from the state of having wealth already. This is the way you need to handle your desires. Live from the result, not toward it. So how do you keep this belief alive when your senses are showing you the exact opposite? The secret is in knowing that your senses can only report what already exists. They're limited to the outcomes of your older beliefs. But you, as the conscious being, exist in the realm of endless possibility. Let's put it another way. Imagine you're in a pitch-black room with a flashlight. Wherever you aim the light, that's what you see. Your attention works the same way. Whatever you focus on expands and becomes your experience. If you continue to focus on the emotion of having your desire already fulfilled, you're actually bringing that situation to life. Here's where most people get stuck. They try to hold belief in their wish while constantly looking for signs that it's real. This divided focus, this mental split, stops the desire from taking form. You must be courageous enough to completely ignore the evidence that your senses show when it contradicts your belief. This doesn't mean pretending your current reality doesn't exist. It means recognizing that it is temporary and must shift to match your new belief. Feelings are the key. Not physical feelings, but the emotional tone. The sense of something feeling ordinary and true. When something is natural to you, you don't obsess over it. You don't wonder if it's real. You just live it. That's the state you must reach and hold regarding your desires. Let me give you a simple tool to practice this. As you get ready for sleep tonight, ask yourself, how would I feel if my dream was already a fact? Then fully embrace that emotion. Don't just think about it. Feel it. Feel the peace, the joy, the normal feeling of having what you want. Fall asleep in that state. Your logical mind might resist, bringing up all the reasons why it's not possible. Acknowledge it, but don't engage with it. Stay in your assumption. During those moments before falling asleep, you're in the most powerful creative state you have. That time, when you're drowsy and halfway between awake and asleep, is when your rational brain is quietest and your subconscious mind is most open. That's why I keep stressing how important the last 5 minutes before sleep are. Those are precious chances to plant your assumption deeply in your subconscious. Now let's talk about something that challenges many people. The waiting period between making your assumption and seeing it come true. This is where your faith is tested the most. You'll be tempted to keep checking for signs, to see if anything is changing. That's like digging up a seed right after planting it to see if it's growing. A farmer wouldn't do that, and neither should you. Instead, trust completely that what you've assumed will come to pass. How and when it happens isn't your responsibility. Your only job is to keep feeling that your wish is already a fact. The world outside will change itself to match your inner belief through ways you cannot predict or arrange. Here's a deep truth. Everything in your current life was once only imagined. The clothes you're wearing, the phone you use, the home you live in, these were once just thoughts in someone's mind. They became real through the same law I'm explaining to you now. The only difference between those things and what you now desire is how strongly you believe in their possibility. Let me offer one last example to show you how powerful this is. A man once came to me paralyzed on the left side of his body. Doctors had told him it was permanent. But he learned this principle and started imagining himself as completely healthy. Every night he imagined walking normally, using both arms, living freely. His doctors thought he was in denial. His family was worried. But he didn't stop. Little by little, movement came back. Eventually, he could walk and move again, against all medical opinion. What seemed impossible became real. because he chose to feel that his wish was already fulfilled, even when nothing supported it. The power I'm talking about isn't something outside of you, it is inside. It is your imagination, your very essence. Once you understand this, you'll see that nothing is beyond your reach. The only limitations are those you accept as true. As we finish here tonight, take this one truth with you. Your current life is just the physical result of old beliefs. It has no power unless you keep giving it attention. The moment you make a new assumption and keep the feeling of it being real, the whole world must adjust to fit it. Tonight, when you go home, I urge you to test this law. Pick something you deeply want, something your mind says is unlikely. Create a short, simple scene in your mind that shows it has already come true. Step into that scene, feel its reality, feel the normalcy of it. Then drift off to sleep in that feeling. Do this night after night. Watch how your outer life begins to shift in ways that make no logical sense, all to match your new belief. Always remember, the world you live in is your own mind pushed outward. Everything you see and touch is your inner belief showing itself. Change what you assume to be true, and you change what happens to you. This is not just an idea, it's a law, as exact as math, as steady as gravity. You are the one shaping your world. No condition, no situation, no other person can stop you, unless you let them, by agreeing with their view. Dare to believe that your dreams are already done. Stay with that belief, hold on to it, and watch as what seemed impossible slowly becomes your new reality because of your faith in it. In the end, you will live what you truly believe. And if your belief is rooted in the feeling of already having what you want, then nothing can stand in the way of its arrival. This is the law. This is the promise. And this is your power. Thank you and good night.